Yo, what up, guys? I'm just gonna dive right in. Sony is the most low-life, greedy, grimy, scheming, shady company I ever seen in my life. It does not stop. It do not stop with Sony. Like, why don't it? What do you have to do to stop these Decepticons from just single-handedly trying to destroy PlayStation brand completely? Like, they are. Do you know what's going on down in these gaming streets over there in Japan? They are betraying their own fan base. That's where they make the PlayStation 5. That's pretty much where it comes from, where it was born. Their own fan base is turning against them. They don't want to stand for it. These people have stood up and let their voice be heard, because Sony up there at the front office, they're showing their true colors. They don't care about nobody. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care about their fan base. Only thing they care about is money. That $70 price tag. Now they're trying to increase their revenue due to this lawsuit they just got. So now they're going to up the price to make all that money back from that $5 billion that they're going to be sued for ripping their own customers off. How do you punish your customers for you ripping your own customers off for $5 billion? Tens of millions of people. Look it up. Tens millions of people out there got ripped off doing PS4 era. I think it was still going on even with PS4. It probably was going on around PS3 as well, but they didn't catch it until like the end of pretty much the end to the middle of the PS4 era. So that generation is what really sparked it off, and they seen that, okay, now our gold mine, we have a gold mine right here. This is our bread and butter. We're going to milk it for all it's got. Like I said before, these Decepticons are pimping PS5. Do you know they have raffle tickets over there across seas, over in the Asian community? They have to have raffle tickets. You have to win a PS5. They cannot keep up with demand. Do you know these idiots want to jack up PlayStation Plus premium prices? Not only jack up the price on PS5, but the subscription service that's supposed to be competing with Game Pass. Do you think these idiots up there at the front office at Sony cares about you? Look at Uncle Jim. He's laughing. Oh, inflation. We know it's a really hard time right now for everybody. Gas prices, the cost of living, your house, everything is jacked up right now. Everybody knows it. It's no secret. And do you think Sony cares? They don't care about you. They're not your friend. Sony is not your friend. These Sony fanboys and Sony ponies swear up and down Sony is their friend. They're going to be invited to a yacht club and get to party with Sony. And some sick-minded fanboys actually think that. Like, Uncle Jim is going to come knock on your door and say, hey, you want to come party with Sony this weekend? This guy, only thing, he is a businessman. He don't care about which way the gaming community is going. This man is signing off on making movies on your AAA bangers. Okay? He's sending your AAA bangers to PC. Okay? He's sending your AAA exclusive bangers. God of War, Spider-Man, Ragnarok is going to be on the way. The Last of Us remake. When have this ever happened? Because they know the company is going down. Abandoned ship is sinking. Titanic. And these Sony ponies are going to go down with them. They're never going to leave their side. These little fanboys are actually Sony little pawns. They're actually standing up for Sony on doing price hikes on the PS5. Oh, well, the PS5 is a better console. Even though the Xbox is more powerful, we feel like it's a better value because the exclusive, you don't even have your own exclusives anymore. The front office at Sony don't even care about their own fan base. So how do you have something special to yourself that you so dearly love and passionate about? You can't have something that special if it's not locked down to your little plastic box. You don't even have that argument anymore. Xbox is starting to outsell PlayStations in different regions, in different countries, because they can keep up with the demand, but Sony can't. So they're going to hike the price up to bring the value up of the console to make it seem more special. Kind of like what Apple does. You know, they're real anti-consumer as well. Sony is very, very, very anti-consumer to the point where it's getting to the point where everybody sees it. You don't think the Sony ponies know that? You don't think these little fanboys know that? This little toxic group that just comes out and target everybody that they feel like that's against Sony. It ain't always been about against Sony. It's about being against what's right and what's wrong. You get what I'm saying? Like, if it's wrong, it's wrong. Like, if you're gonna do a price hike, let it be worth it. Let it have that value. Oh, you're gonna get a controller, you're gonna get a game, you're gonna get PlayStation Plus Premium for like 3 months. Let the value be there. Matter of fact, come with 2 games. Come with The Last of Us Remake Horizon or The Last of Us Remake God of War. Let the value be there. Let it justify why the price hike needs to be there. Because it's not going to cost you nothing to add that Last of Us Remake to a digital copy and you just go online and download it at your PlayStation store. Is that really going to hurt Sony pockets? Come on now. If you already complaining that you're not selling enough copies. Oh, tens of millions of copies sold, that's not enough. If 15 million is not enough anymore, we need more. You know why you need more? Do you know why you need more? Because low engagement. There's not enough people playing PS5. And do you know why it's not enough people playing PS5? Do you really want to know the answer to that? That the front office up there at Sony won't tell you? The reason why there's a price hike and there's low engagement is because of scalpers, and they are taking the L, and they're on eBay. You don't think Sony have their little puns and scouts out here reporting every little news article, every little spying on Xbox, every little thing they're doing? You don't think they have those little trolls out here? You don't think they know about the scalpers? Do you think they want to stop them? I don't know. At first, let's just say at the beginning of the generation, right? As soon as the PS5 dropped, I knew it was headed down the wrong path. I wish I would have just dove into the console wars then I could have really, but I didn't know, how this generation was going to really go until that whole Activision Blizzard deal was acquired. Pretty much the deal is about to be wrapped up. And I was saying to myself, I was like, yo, this is about to get real ugly this generation. If Sony don't step down and do something about these scalpers, I'm sitting on here at eBay. These dudes had the price almost like $1,500 for a PS5. I'm like, man, Sony better step down and do something. They better start like selling it on their own websites or something, or have a limitation. They weren't doing anything about Walmart, Best Buy, Targets, GameStop. I'm talking about these scalpers went crazy. They were buying up every PS5, and it got to the point where it got so crazy. Well, the Xbox Series X as well, but the PS5 just had more hype around it. And now it's starting to die down. Now it's really going to die down with this price hike. So pretty much Xbox may win this generation. If Xbox doesn't win this entire generation, it's going to be a really tight race. They're going to be neck and neck. And then the generation after that, they're going to dethrone PlayStation. I'm just going to keep it real. Because in the next 10 years, if they keep going down this road, they're not going to even exist. PlayStation is going to be extinct like Sega, and the only thing they're going to be doing is producing and publishing games like Sega. That's it for PC and Xbox. That's what PlayStation is coming to if this greed continues to get out of control like this. And I don't care about what these idiotic little fanboys to the left talking about. PlayStation is better, and they cannot back up why PlayStation is better. It does not have the value that Xbox and Game Pass and PC have. To me, I recommend PC. That's just me. I highly recommend PC. I feel like PC is the place to go because you can have the best. You can get in both ecosystems. You can get in PlayStation ecosystem and you can get in the Xbox ecosystem, and you can already play what's on PC. And you have emulators for every other thing that's ever been invented. Gaming, everything. PCs, like, you can build stuff. You can just do so much more on PC. And it's just getting to the point where these low down, dirty, shady dogs have turned on their own fan base. They betrayed them again. Like when do these fanboys, these Sony fanboys and ponies learn they don't like you? I'm trying to find a different way to get it through a thick skull. Like, do anybody know how to like get something through to a ignorant person that, okay, they hear you, but it's not processing in their small little peanut brain. Like, you can't like get it to just sink in and just be like, you know what? Yeah, I'm not going to roll with that side. I'm going to come over to the winning team. Because as long as these fanboys keep supporting this stuff, they're going to keep doing it. They're going to keep supporting all of the remakes, all of the locking down games that don't even belong to their IP. I have no issue whatsoever with locking down God of Wars of the world, Uncharted's, Gran Turismo's, all of their own IPs that's been on the OG PlayStation. They've been on PlayStation 1 and 2 and even 3. The OG PlayStations, I don't have a problem with that. But Sony have gotten so greedy. They got so greedy to now they're turning on their own fan base and sending their precious little exclusives to PC, to cloud gaming, PC Game Pass even. Death Stranding. People turned on Kojima. They turned on a game developer production. How do you turn on a developer? They almost turned on God of War. Like, God of War was almost about to get jumped out here in these gaming streets because of a release date. Like, they are so thirsty for content for PS5. Everybody already knows all you're doing is playing an upgraded PS4 game on your PS5. It looks great, it looks amazing, but they still can run on your PS4 or PS4 Pro. There's nothing wrong with that. And I spoke on that before. I felt like they shouldn't really leave PS4 behind as of right now because they still can't keep up with demand. I wanted to answer that question as well. I seen a lot of feedback on how people felt. Like, okay, the console have been out a very long time. We get it. It's almost ancient. We get it. And graphic wise and keeping up with technology, it's ancient. Yes, of course. But if you can't, you got to hear me out. If you cannot keep up with demand, how can you leave 100 million plus fans behind and you don't even have enough PS5s to go around yet? At least push PS5s out to like the 50 million, 60 million range before you decide to leave them behind, because that's way too many consoles. If they do it now, bro, you only gonna have you probably ain't even hit 25 million, consoles yet. How are you just gonna say we're just gonna be done with PS4? Like, does that make from a business standpoint for Sony, greedy as they are, does that really make sense to leave behind 100 million plus, let's say 120, 130 if you're gonna drop the PS5 in there as well, and cloud gaming services with PC. So let's say about around 130 million people you're going to leave behind just for one console that's not going to bring you enough, that they're already complaining about their games are not selling enough. They're not bringing in enough. Tens, millions of copies, they're not enough. They want them to be at least hit the mid 20s, 30s millions. That's what they want them to sell. But for all these fanboys to be hyping up the PS5, they're definitely not supporting the creators that they said they don't mind paying $70 for, right? They don't mind saying. Now the fanboy said this came out their own mouth. You can go look it up on all these blogs and vlogs out here. We don't care. We'll pay 80. We'll pay 90. Okay, well, you're getting your wish, because yes, those prices are hiked up too in certain countries. Okay, so they don't mind paying that $70, but it doesn't add up on how many people. It doesn't add up on how many people are actually supporting these games. If they're 100 and let's round it off, like 130 million something odd consoles out there right now, right? We're just off the top, and they're only selling 10 million. That means someone was adding it up. It was like only 1 out of 10 to 12 people are supporting these games. But these are diehard so-called Sony ponies and fans. So you mean to tell me only 1 to 12 people out of 100 and like 30 to 40 million consoles out there? You only 1 to 12 people out of 12 people are supporting these developers that you say you want to pay $70 for? Cap, stop the cap. I may even label it stop the cap, bro. Come on now. You just like, these are little drama kings and queens up there supporting Sony in the front office up there. Come on, man. These Decepticons don't stop, bro. They don't stop. How are you supporting if a game ain't even hit 10 million, ain't even hit 15 million consoles sold, right? But you're saying you support them? How are you supporting your own? Bro, how are you supporting them? It's not adding up. The amount of consoles are sold. They're playing multi-plat games. Exclusive games are not as big as what all the hype is around them. If it's only 10 million copies sold, that's still a lot of copies sold, but at the same time, it's not adding up as to how many it should be in the 30s or 40s. For all the capping that's going on. If you ask me, 30s and 40 million copies sold, okay, I'll have to step back and say, well, they are kind of supporting the developers. $70 games, Sony, I guess you did make the right call. But if we're not in the 30s and 40 million copies sold, and they're saying they can't even keep up with demand, and you're saying, okay, cancel the PS4 because we're being held back. You don't even have the game. They're not even pushing the PS5 to full potential. They're not even hitting the benchmarks that they're trying to hit with PS5 yet. The console is weaker than the Xbox Series X, and you all know that now. It may be even weaker than the S. They just did an upgrade boost, and it comes with Game Pass. It don't make sense. None of this makes sense if you really think about it. You're hiking up the price. The console is weaker than the Xbox. Don't have the value as Game Pass as the Xbox and PC. Don't care about their fan base like Xbox. So what are you capping for? Why? Who are these little Sony fanboys capping for? Like, I really want to know, like, how are you going to back up a price hike and their own country aren't standing behind them? The own Japanese community, they're not standing behind Sony on this. So from day one, like I was telling you, word just so happened to get back to us what's really going down over there in those gaming streets. These are diehard fans, hard-working people day to day, and we know how hard they work over there. We see it all the time, bro. We see it all the time. They're being done wrong by their own company, and we have little fanboys over here getting lost in the sauce with little console wars. See what it is, they're not thinking logical. They're more thinking, how can I put this? They're not thinking sensible. They're politicking so hard is that they're just pretty much throwing any and everything out there in a pot and just mixing it up, and that's why it don't taste good. You can't put all of these different recipes in your pot and thinking it's gonna come out with a good flavor. It's always gonna be messed up. And that's what's going on with these little fanboys. They're just throwing all these little fake news, fake narratives out here. Oh, that's right here. You know, Sony is better than Xbox. They're out selling them. They're worth this. They're worth that. But they ain't bringing you value. They don't care about your own fan base. They're sending all of your exclusives to PC. That was number one thing that just pretty much did it for the fan base. Do you think Sony care? No. Why? Because they're all about that money. They're trying to protect that $70 price tag. Like I said before, they will do anything to protect that $70 price tag, no matter what the little fan base is talking about. Oh, you know, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna stand behind them. The price hike is justified. How can you stand behind that and laugh at people and put them down, calling them poor? We don't care about you. Sony's gonna do what they want to do, and we're gonna stand behind them. They still have the best exclusives in the world, AAA bangers. You know, it's like, so they tie all this in together and throw it in the pot and mix it up, and it just don't taste good. You know, a lot of people are bringing all their problems that they have in their own personal life and project that onto everyone else, which is not right, because okay, now you're confusing real fans and just diehard gamers. You can see these fanboys, they get lost in the crowd. Like if you go in a concert, they will say something, they will scream something out to piss everybody off and duck and hide behind everybody else. And everybody's like looking around like, who just said that? That's what these little fanboys do. I'm talking about, like, I mean want to say like, okay, if you have so much input on the way things should really go, why don't y'all guys go out there and sign petitions? Why don't you protest? Why don't you do something to get Sony attention to help them stop this madness? Because they are tearing the gaming community apart single-handedly, and they're sinking PS5 slowly but surely, and that is going to eventually happen once this Call of Duty Activision deal clears, because that right there is all of the value that Game Pass needs. They don't need validation from the fanboys, from the Sony fanboys. They don't need you to say that Xbox don't got no games. Sony, they're not Sony fanboys. They are not even supporting their own exclusive games to full potential, full speed ahead like they say they are, because the numbers are showing that they're all full of cap. So how are you supporting them? And it's this many consoles out here in these gaming streets, and the numbers aren't adding up. Something's not right. Like you can cap all you want to and talking about, oh, Sony has better value because they have exclusive AAA bangers that won't never come to Xbox, but now they're on PC. So now you don't have the value that you once thought you had. Now some of those fanboys feel like they waste their money, but they won't come out and say it because they're too prideful, and those egos go to clashing. They're having a mental breakdown inside right now. Man, I should have just went with an Xbox and got Game Pass. I'm paying $70 a pop every time you walk up in Walmart. How much this is, man? $75. How much this? $78. Oh, you need another subscription? You gotta pay for on the play online as well. PSN. Okay, cough it up. What's coming with that? Nothing. That's all you get. Cough it up. Sony don't care about you, me, your pockets. Only thing they're worrying about is money, and you cannot get through to these fanboys. They're still talking down on the Xbox community, the PC community, the game developers. They're targeting the game developers. Like, how are you targeting game developers? It's getting to the point where it's just getting sickening just to sit back and watch. Sony's toxic. They have these little fanboys that's toxic. And then you have the real diehard fans and gamers like us having to deal with these idiots on a day in, day out basis. And it's like you can't even say anything because they are real soft and emotional and sensitive. You ever knew that? Like if you talk to a Sony fan, well, they get real like sensitive and emotional, like a little female, like a little girl. They just they get all of their feelings. Well, you know, and that's all you hear. It ain't making no sense. That's what I hear when I hear them talking back to me. That's all I hear. I don't hear nothing sensible coming out of their mouth. That's all you hear. But I'm gonna leave it right there, guys. You already know what to do, man. Smash that like, that subscribe button, click that notification bell so you guys can be notified on all of the latest and greatest news out here in these gaming streets. And don't forget to click the links in the description below so you guys can go ahead and download that PlayStation Plus Premium for your PC and that Game Pass for your PC so you can bring a little more value to your gaming life. Thank you, peace, love you guys. Talk to you later.